Of course, I asked the new friend, and by the way, his name is Sanusi. I asked him, I want to visit most of the cities around the area we are in. By the way, I was in El Bawity. The Bahariya Oasis consists of El Bawity, El Kasr, El Aguz, El Haiz, El Zabu, and another one I don't remember now. There are 6 cities around. He told me that he will pick me up at 3 o'clock afternoon. Was strange for me actually, because the weather in this day was much more hot than the last day. But I'm not coming to this area because of him or because of this type of agriculture work. I'm coming for something special. We sat together and we started to talk, or I let him start talking about people who I'm interested to know exactly the farmers and what are they doing in this time exactly during the day, because I know exactly during the day this time they take a rest, same as I heard, and they do sometimes some type of folk games, which I love very much and to know. And there are one game very important for me. I heard about it, but no one collected right well or documented right well until this moment, which they call it the Lady Green and the Minister. Maybe one day I can explain to you much more about it, because it is wonderful, yes, also, and I collected and I documented right well. I asked him about it and he gave me all the points about it, and I asked him if they will do it during this time we are in the field. He said to me, no, not now, because there is no enough farmers in this day. And I asked him why he chose this area actually inside his field. Suddenly he said to me that because it's cleaned. What do you mean about cleaned? He said to me he cleaned it the day before, and in the morning before I come he cleaned it from the snakes and scorpions. Like that. I astonished and suddenly I scared. How come? He said to me, it is normal. I was talking very normal, very easy like that. And suddenly I remembered that I am with only galabia and there is no pants inside. How can I sit? I was sit on the ground like that. I was sitting on the ground like that. And my mind started to think, if a snake come from the front and go inside and do whatever, but okay, I have my underwear, but I haven't any pants, and maybe something happened, or so and so. It was like that, and suddenly I forgot what I'm talking about. I forgot our conversation, my questions. He said to me, don't be worried, the area is very clean. I said to him, okay, but if just in case, maybe one snake or maybe one scorpion around, someone forgot or something. He said to me, no. We finished actually, and I started to take some photos about the area and the place. And then he said to me that maybe tomorrow in the morning we can meet once more again, and I will meet my friends, his friends. We will meet them and we can talk, and could be they give me a permission to enter one of their evening parties. In the evening, Sanusi came to the hotel with the manager, the hotel manager, and we sat together and we started to talk about a lot of things between Cairo, this area, and a lot of things. I asked them about it, yes, also, and I asked them about that if there is a temple or there are temples belongs to the ancient Egyptian in this area. They said to me, because I know exactly, they said to me that there are some temples, and maybe we can visit one of them. I asked them for the most important one I know, which the Alexander the Great visited long time and became united with the ancient Egyptian religion. Ah, yes, okay, they told me that we can go to this area. It is a little bit far, but we can go to this area, or we can visit this area during our route to El Haiz. This is, or El Zabu, one of the far cities. During the route, we can find this temple and we can visit. Yes, okay, I agreed. And we start to talk about a lot of things until around maybe midnight. Then we decided to meet once more again, but in the morning. Because I wanted to know a lot of places. I want to visit a lot of places in El Bawity, and of course El Kasr, which is not far from El Bawity. El Kasr village, or let me say city, if you can say something like this. In the morning, of course, he came to me, Sunusi, he came to me, and we start to move around to see in the morning, to see the people and to see the area, until we went to El Kasr and we visited. By the way, El Kasr have the name of it like that because it has a palace since long time. This palace belongs to I think some of the British people long ago, colony or something like that, since long time. So they call it like that, El Kasr, because of this palace long ago. And the man who wrote the book about them in this time, he was Egyptian, by the way, professor, and he was living this El Kasr or this palace also. Anyway, we went over there. We saw a lot of nice things. And I met once more again some of the people who they came from the area El Haiz, the area or this village, which is very far in the desert. And we asked him that he can wait for us to go over there. The fourth day we went to El Haiz. And of course, I went to the temple. I saw the temple, and was very strange for me because this temple looks like upside down, everything upside down, something like that. I tried to enter the temple, but was difficult because it is dangerous. This is number two. I took some photos about it, and I turned it around. All are deserts. And after we finished, we went to El Haiz. This area have some people, but was very strange for me because they haven't, or let me say, they hasn't any electricity, and they live in this area like that. I asked people over there about their type of parties or something like that. They told me that of course they have, but it is not same like El Bawity or El Kasr or the other cities. And the children was very strange for me. Children, they don't like to talk with me because I'm a foreigner. And it is not so easy that some foreigners going to this area or to visit this area, something like that. I tried a lot. And suddenly, some of our colleagues from the academy, they were over there. I met them, yes, also. And we started to do some tricks to let the children can talk with us. I was very happy to meet my colleagues, some of my colleagues and my students, yes, also over there. And we started to do some tricks to find a way talking with the boys, because I want to document some of their type of folk games, because I didn't find any type of dance over there can attract me or something like what I'm looking for. And already we did some, we finished, and then we came back again to El Bawity. This is in this day, and I met in the evening some of the people from this area, and we start to talk about a lot of things, and I try to be much more friendly with them, of course, to let them give me permission if they have any wedding parties or any type of party we can, or I can enter and look for it. I'm looking for something like that. In this day, actually, they give me permission and they said to me that I am not a foreigner. I am, looks like one of them. Was strange. What do you mean? I am Egyptian. We are Egyptian. Yes, okay, we are Egyptian, but we afraid of the foreigners to see what are we doing. Was strange in the beginning when I heard this point of view. I don't know why, but in the end I started to understand, or I start to understand why they said something like this. But I have to wait until to be alone, I mean without my colleagues and my students, and then maybe we can go together to the desert, one of the mountains they will do a party on. And of course they said to me that there will be also a wedding party. Wow, fantastic for me. I agreed because I wanted to see this and this party and wedding party, yes, also. Okay, and then we said that tomorrow you can visit some of the mosques or the places which I explained to them about them. There are some places not similar like what we have in Cairo or in the other Egyptian cities. And girls, since long time, what I have been reading this book about them, that the girls long ago they were going every Thursday to one of these mosques and do some type of performance in front of the mosque. In Egypt, same like the other countries, and I think all over the world, yes, also, when a holy Sheikh died, they bury him in an area and they create or build a mosque onto his grave, like that. It is normal all over the Arab countries. We know it exactly and you heard it exactly, but the most important point is in this area the girls and women also going to some of these places and they were doing some type of performance on it, and in front of the grave, but outside, and sometimes yes also inside. I have been read something about it, and of course how they do it, and lot of points like this. In the beginning they refused and they said to me that there is no something like that, but step by step they told me that it was long ago, but now not anymore. Tomorrow we can go visit some of these mosques or graves, and we shall show you exactly, or we will show you exactly how it looks like, and exactly that's it. Was strange to me when I saw something like that, because it is not normal for me. The way of buildings looks like pigeon tower or something like that. Here in Egypt, it is or bygone towers or whatever, something like this. It is not normal mosques or graves, but I found it like that. I had some photos of it to show you exactly, and for me too. And I asked one of my colleagues, maybe one day they can do a research on this type of buildings, and also about the sheikhs or these people who are or they were live long ago in this area. Until now I found no one did something about it or any research about it. No problem, it is not my way of thinking. I'm thinking seriously about dancing. Then after 2 days, or let me say the second day or the day later, Sunusi, he invited me in his house for dinner, and was fantastic. I asked him to take some photos, but he refused because this is not good. He likes something like that, and he said to me, not good. Okay, no problem. But the food and the way they cook was delicious. I never test something like this type of meats. And I asked him where they brought this type of meats. He told me that it is normal everywhere here in Bahariya Oasis. And in the end, I recognized that their animals, they feeding their animals with the palm trees, not same like us. So this is the test of the meat, of course, and the food was wonderful. Also, they cook it perfect, more than perfect. And we decided to wait until all of my colleagues and students go back again to Cairo, and then I will go and be with them in one of their parties, then also a wedding party.